Hey everyone, welcome today. It's another busy Saturday in the Link to Pass Randomizer League. We're getting things kicked off with my partner Worldwide Wimpy, and Wimpy, we're gonna have a good racer today, aren't we?
Yeah, two of the most elite runners in Randomizer, Goomba and Illus, representing the last locationers versus the spoiler team. Zelgadissan, I think that, or just simply Zell, and Dr. Martio going at it. We've already started as we've seen a split between our teams.
Yeah, Zelgadissan and Dr. Marty are on the right representing the spoilers. They lost their first race earlier this week in this matchup to the last locationers. Goomba and Illus on the left here, as this is a co-op race, so you're seeing both these teams kind of split up here at the start. One member checking out the north locations, as our tree pull rewarding us with red rupees today. It's a good, very good drop for those runners at the start.
And we have exploding bush crabs today as they are dropping bombs. Nothing on Lumberjack today, just a piece of heart. If our runners decide that they need that for extra safety, why are they in the Invitational League?
Yeah, we're not going to be seeing Aghanim die for that reason. We are going to see Aghanim die though, because this is an all dungeons race. Before being able to kill Ganon, we're going to need to beat all 3 light world dungeons, all 7 dark world dungeons in both towers.
As we find an S word, a sharp object in the forest on the mushroom spot, we're going to see a drop in on the Thieves' Den here in the Lost Woods as well. Just finding 20 more dollary dues. That is enough, though, to go ahead and purchase whatever is on our bottle vendor today.
Yeah, it lines up real well with those bush crabs giving out bombs like they're candy. Having just enough money to get through Kakariko, plenty of bombs for it. Great opening for both these teams.
As Illus is going to be emptying the dam here, seeing what's underneath that puddle of water outside, as we get simultaneous Kakariko village checks from Zell and Dr. Marty.
Yeah, you don't see this too often. You normally see one runner head towards these South Star checks like Illus is doing, and the other runner taking on Kakariko. But Zelga and Dr. Mario are looking to maybe go through Kakariko quicker for both of them than they would normally, having one person go through the entire thing.
As we find a blue cane somewhere in the very early part of Kakariko Village, along with the Moon Pearl in the Kakariko Well. As Illus takes care of all those mini Moldorms inside of Mini Moldorm Cave with some explosions. Finds a Bottle Titan Power Glove and an Ether Medallion in the back of Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, pretty loaded Mini Moldorm Cave, and that is one of the nice parts about having that bush crab have so many bombs is you can load up and be able to clear that cave out without hitting any of the other locations in the game. So Illus getting a lot of goodies a bit earlier than you normally would see for a co-op seed.
And a second glove on our bottle vendor. Our Dark World access, at least over on the west side of Dark World, is through Titan's Mitts and that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, it's going to open up routing significantly for both these teams. We expect to see someone head to the Dark World very quickly here, while the other team member takes care of cleaning up Light World spots.
As we get a look into the back of Escape on Dr. Marty's side, Zell's going to head to South Shore. Gonna find those Titan's Mitts and that bottle, along with the Ether Medallion in Mini Moldorm Cave, should they elect to go right. And Bombos in the back of Escape. We're already 2 medallions in.
Yeah, that's a really good sign for these runners. With these all dungeon seeds, most of what you need for a seed is already known because you have to clear everything. But there are a couple variables: what medallions you need for Misery Mire and Turbock, and whether you're going to need boots to clear out Desert or Ganon's Tower.
As we see Marty go to the Uncle checks here. Nothing in that well, but I'm sure we're going to see an escape progression here in the front. With that sword in hand, you're able to go ahead and just clear out some of those guards, pick up a couple of chests, and move on through.
Yeah, we're just 5 minutes into the seat, and almost, I would say most of the light world checks have been cleared out here. There's still this front of escape, and there's still the eastern area, but past that, it's going to be, we're going to see Illus head to the Dark World here as quickly as he can, and that will be where we start to see some more information.
We still have my two favorite last locations in the light world, which is Agina's Cave and, of course, Zora, with having at least one pair of gloves that does put our first friendly fish-faced friend into logic.
Yeah, and with tree poles being 80 rupees a piece, it's not going to be too hard to get that money if you need to. Although I would imagine both these teams are trying to avoid that location for as long as possible.
With the Moon Pearl in hand, you can loop that in with a fake flipper as well, so maybe Zell is going to go ahead and do that once they check Ice Cave.
Maybe. It's still just a really slow check without boots. It's just well out of the way and takes a long time to walk to, even if you do fake flipper over there. So I would be surprised to see Zelga loop that in here, but I've been surprised before.
As we're getting a peek into Escape here from Dr. Marty and Goomba. Just arrows in the vanilla bloomerang chest. And it's going to look like Illus is going to be heading into the Dark World here for the last locationers. You see Goomba enter into the first room of the basement of Escape, just having some explosions.
Just some arrows from Sick Kid here, as Illus was distracted a little bit before making his way to the Dark World. We'll see that now as Dr. Marty picks up a map in the Escape. So nothing in front of Escape for our runners. There's still a Dark Cross. We'll see if Dr. Marty goes to that. With the sword, it isn't too bad of a place to get to.
Yeah, the poor child in the bed took an arrow to his knee. And it looks like Zelga's going to be heading into the Dark World as well. Not far behind Illus here. So we get that dark room navigation from Dr. Marty. Again, not too bad with that sword sparkle there. You can navigate your way through the dark room. I'm sure, if necessary, Dr. Marty probably has this all down to muscle memory and can get to that chest no problem.
Yeah, I would assume so as well. We got to look at our crystal and pendant layout. Once again, it doesn't matter that much because our runners do have to beat up all of the dungeons, but it can lead to certain things being in Ganon's tower that are required that we might have to fish out later. But it doesn't look like it's a too unfavorable layout. I thought I saw Ice had a pendant, Tower Hera had a pendant. I missed what the last one was. But those dungeons don't take a lot to get into, so I would be surprised if Ganon's tower has anything for us today.
Yeah, especially since there are checks locked behind certain things like our Pyramid Fairy, which you need the 2 red crystals to get access to that bomb for, a green pendant, and if you have all 3 pendants, you have yourself a pedestal pull check you can loop in somewhere.
Looks like Pod is our last pendant, so Hera, Pod, and Ice. 3 dungeons that don't have a lot that lock them, and are nothing in there would be required. Nothing in there will be in Ganon's tower for sure, because you'll need items for to beat those dungeons, to beat other ones as well: hammer, bow, fire source, etc. So
we get a peek into the Lost Village thanks to Goomba. We've got Zelga inside of Thieves Town and Illus going through the front of Skullwoods. Lots of new checks going on here. Our busy trackers, which by the way, thank you very much, Duodeca and 2C Plus for doing the tracking today. It's the most thankless job in all of randomizer broadcasting. As we find a shovel inside of the left side chest of Skullwoods on Illus's side.
yeah, but we found something even better on Goomba's side, and Sea Hut had the hammer. So that makes this dive into Thieves Town way better, as you're not going to leave an item hanging in the big chest downstairs.
And find a bug net inside of the pinball room in Skullwoods. That's both of our items. Our runners don't have to come back to Skullwoods until they find the fire rod, and then they can just go right to the back and kill a Mothula.
Yeah, it's gonna be good news for Goomba too, as Illus is just gonna tell him, hey, you can just not bother for Skullwoods for the time being. If this shovel ends up being something, it's a pretty quick place to get back to, so you can just skip that for now.
As Dr. Marty is heading through the Village of Outcasts checks here, going to be finding that hammer inside of C-shaped house. Very nice to have, because with those Titan Smiths, Moon Pearl, and Hammer, you have access to every single Dark World portal available to you.
Yeah, the world is almost your oyster at this point. The only thing that's still left out is Death Mountain. We still need either a hook shot or a mirror to get access to that area. One thing that's kind of surprising, we're seeing all 4 of our runners kind of bunched up here in Western Dark World. I'm surprised no one made a play to go and take a look at Sarasla and Eastern Palace.
Without a bow and technically a fire source to clear that in logic, it's a good orphan check to go ahead and leave and loop that in with the Palace of Darkness, since this is all dungeons. If you find a mirror and a bow, and you can go, I'll do it at the same time, you might as well. We're gonna get a peek into hammer pegs here from Dr. Marty. Gonna have to do this the slow way, but hey, it's a check.
Yeah, another nice thing about these co-op races is some of these out-of-the-way checks don't feel as bad because both team members don't have to do them. But in this case, I think Dr. Marty's going to tell Zelga, hey, you should go over here and grab this Master Sword.
Blue sword upgrade to your fighter sword. Always nice to have. Does extra damage compared to that fighter sword. The real difference is going from Master Sword to Tempered, but any upgraded sharp object is always nice to have in your pocket.
Absolutely. Just a piece of heart in the big chest, so hammer not paying off too terribly well right now, but definitely a required item, and we'll give runners peace of mind. They won't ever have to touch Thieves Town ever again after clearing it out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Both Goomba and Illus are going through Thieves Town currently. Early on, this is a very big gamble, but as you say, you're able to say, well, we've already done everything in the village. We just need to go to do Skullwoods to finish it out. Hey, we're good to go. As we get our first of 3 blind fights here from Zelga in the top right. If you move in the exact same way every single time, blind is going to do the exact same thing, which is why we call it the blind script, and does it quite well. Gets a compass as a reward, but more importantly, a blue crystal for our first dungeon clear of this seed and the race.
Yeah, that was a picture-perfect fight from zelgadissan there, as Dr. Marty didn't look like he got anything from Stumpy, is taking on these Southwest Dark World checks. See if, I'm sure Zelga's gonna probably head up to,
Gonna get that sword first.
Gotta get that sword first, then probably head up to Skullwoods and check that out, since that has not been touched yet by his partner. And then we may see Zelga head over and to take out that eastern area if Dr. Marty doesn't find anything that speeds that process up here.
As we get our second blind fight from Goomba. Again, if he moves the exact same way, he knows exactly what blind's going to be doing.
Looked like another bottle for our runners and a mushroom in Hype Cave. So we got a lot of fetch quests going on. We found a shovel, we found a mushroom. Haven't found a ton of progression since that early burst in the seed.
Looks as though Dr. Marty's going to go ahead and do a fake flipper to turn in that mushroom, and then probably go turn in our dwarven friend after that.
Yeah, this is the fake flipper everyone forgets about. One you don't see in NMG at all, but really works out in Rando to get over to the mushroom spot if you don't have a flute very quickly.
Or boots. Boots, compared to the fake flipper, is about the same amount of time, maybe a difference of 2 to 3 seconds at best. So without those boots and without the flute, that fake flipper right near that portal puts you right here at the witch's hut. And she has concocted for us today a bow.
Yeah, we're not going to be keeping that mushroom, that's for sure. I figure if there was nothing of value, Dark Marty might reset and keep that mushroom for later. But bow is a big find. That'll open up Pod and Eastern. Dark, of course, but all of our runners are not going to have a problem with that dungeon in the dark.
Yeah, I would imagine after dropping off our Dwarven Breadsmith, Marty's going to be heading over to Eastern Palace first without that mirror, and then head into Pod afterward. As Goomba finds that Master Sword, going to tell Illus, hey, go get this sword. He's going to be heading to the South Dark World checks for Team Last Location.
Yeah, they'll find their mushroom there, and we'll see how quickly they turn that into the bow. Meanwhile, this timing is going to work out great for the spoilers. Doc Marty's going to have this and head over to Eastern Pod just in time for Zelga to save and quit over to Link's house and go get that mushroom. It's really lining up very well for him right now.
Just some counterfeit cash in the form of a blue rupee from the breadsmiths today. As expected, Marty's going to head right over to Eastern.
Yeah, and this will actually line up even better for zelgadissan. He'll save and quit from here, head to Link's house, check that shovel spot before heading over and checking out Eastern and Pod. So getting a ton of information. This all lined up really well and in the right order for him. Whereas Goomba and Illus are now just getting to Southwest Dark World and won't actually get a clue as to what to do here. They'll have a mushroom, but they don't have the information that the spoilers have right now.
Yeah, I would probably say if neither of them turn in that mushroom, one will head up Death Mountain just to go ahead and give it a peek and probably do a pod dip Eastern combo, maybe? Perhaps go over into Agina's cave and see what that is. As we just have a bloomerang in the dig spot, Zelga's going to go pick up that mushroom and go turn it in to get that bow as Marty heads into Eastern Palace. And it looks like Goomba's going to go turn in that mushroom.
Yep, not having the shovel is not going to get distracted by checking out shovel spot, where Illus is heading over to the shovel right now. And we'll turn in the blacksmith after that. So Goomba will get that bow. Illus will have that blacksmith gone shortly after that, and then they can line up for their next part of the seed. So they're still very close, but they're just a half step behind the spoilers right now.
Goomba gets that bow made from a mushroom. He's going to be heading over to Eastern and Pod as well. Zelga not far behind. I would imagine Zelga's going to be hitting Pod as Marty finishes up Eastern, or maybe goes somewhere else.
Yeah, I suspect this will be Pod. Without having Bombos, you can't really make a play on ice right now, and
as we have an argument brewing in our chat over someone speaking German, ich spreche Deutsch. Hello, wie geht's? I will make this a bilingual stream if I have to, guys. We like to have fun here as long as we get lots of nice rando action racing, which we have between these two teams. Which, by the way, you can check out even more action coming up here on the ALTTPR League channel along with Speed Gaming. We have a whole plate of games going on today. We've already had a couple go ahead and finish, and we've got approximately 8 more going for the rest of the day. Make sure you stay tuned and follow at the ALTTPRleague.com to see where and when your favorite teams and racers are going to be broadcasted at.
One thing that just got broadcasted is the boots in a Dr. Marty stream in Eastern Palace. really big find that will probably push Zelga over to that area sooner rather than later. Zelga going to pick up that Bombos. It may make a play on fake flippering ice here. A little low on equipment for that dungeon, but it is doable.
As we are going to get a look at the purple chest here from Illus, as we're going to be watching Dr. Marty finish up on Eastern Palace with the Armos fight, and Zelga not far behind, going to go get those boots. Probably going to follow right in behind on the Palace of Darkness as well, as Dr. Marty's going to be slightly ahead on that.
Yeah, it's a weird spot where normally you'd want to be split up and doing a bunch of different checks at the same time, but you don't want to come back to this area twice, and the boots are too good to grab.
As it looked like there was nothing in our purple chest today. Illus going to loop in and Agina check here, along with probably a desert ledge as well. Marty takes the save and quit. It looks like he's going to go ahead and leave pod for Zelga, as he's going to go check these boots checks, Blanc Rocks and Kingston together.
I can see the logic in that, and if this is anything for Illus, it is not though, it's just 50, because if that was anything for Illus, that would have been huge, because nothing in the seed has pointed our runners over to desert area as of yet.
As Goomba makes their way through the Eastern Palace, I'm assuming that Goomba's going to have the responsibility of going through pod as well. Goomba electing to go right to the back. I'm assuming that Dark Chest is probably the compass, since we've got the map from the boss.
Yeah, this did appear to be a very beneficial lineup of items out of Eastern. Get to skip that vanilla big key chest.
As we find a red boomerang in with the boots checks in North Light World. Dr. Marty probably going over to pod now. It seems as though that's our best density check. You could make a mountain play, but right now that's only 3 checks, as he did find a mirror inside of
I think it was Tomb. Yeah, it was King's Tomb. Red Boomerang was in Bonk Rocks, and the mirror in King's Tomb. That opens up all of Death Mountain, and I would probably head up there if I was Doc Marty right now, instead of heading over to pod. Let Zelga do pod, find out what you need to do there, and get some other stuff done in the meantime.
As Goomba goes through that stack of Armos with that bow. Dr. Marty heads into pod. Well, here's the thing. You know Zelga's gotta go get that mirror regardless. So you say, okay, go ahead and finish Eastern, then go get the mirror from the King's Tomb and head right up that mountain. He's going to be in the same area regardless. So he can just boot stash right on over there and head on up.
Yeah, I can see that logic as well, as Zelga's going to make quick work of Armos Knights here.
As Illus is going to head in to go get their boots. Goomba is going to head into pod. I would assume that Illus is going to go ahead, take the boots, and leave. You can come back and finish out this dungeon with pod. Those boots do open up more checks, and you can just kind of go, okay, I'm going to go here next.
Yeah, it would certainly be better if last locationers knew where that mirror was. It would be feel a lot more confident in leaving the rest of Eastern behind. And just being able to go to pod and then mirror back to Eastern at some point, which we know they'll be able to do if they want, but not have that information may make Illus want to just complete this dungeon.
Yeah, either play works out well for the last locationers. One last time you have to kind of enter into Eastern Palace, you know, hey, the better.
And it looks like you were spot on, as zelgadissan's going to head over to Death Mountain here and take on those checks while Dr. Marty is cleaning up pod.
So yeah, it's a big break here for Zelga and the spoilers. Now, this will not be in Logic. We do not have the flute or the lamp, but it is possible you can find one of those items on the mountain, which will tell you exactly where possibly the other one might be.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I mean, it's just a ton of items. There's 7 in Paradox Cave, an 8th in Spiral Cave, 9, 10 in Spectral Rock, another one from the Old Man, and then another 3 on the other side of the mountain. So you're getting information on 14 or 15 items here. It doesn't really matter that it's not in Logic.
As Illus goes ahead and finishes Eastern with those boots in the big chest. Yeah, you're right near the door. You might as well just go ahead and finish it. As we get some darkroom navigation in the basement of Pod from Dr. Marty. That room is quite easy with those sword sparkles. Just kind of have to get that left chest, which is kind of off-center and not along the wall. But once you get it, you're kind of good. So we find a bottle in the Harmless Heckway.
Yeah, the Rupee room is kind of the warm up for the dark rooms in Pod. The maze is a little bit harder. Looks like Doc Marty's going to set up for a hammer jump here and navigate it back to front. Makes a lot of sense with the mirror. And then there's the turtle room.
Yeah, the turtle room is, in my opinion, the second hardest dark room in all of Link to the Past. The hardest being that first room in Mire. Once you get the big key, that dark room is not fun with so many fire spitters.
Yeah, the Samaria room in Mire is a mess.
Speaking of Samaria, we find the Cane of Samaria in the dark maze in the bottom right-hand chest. Dr. Marty picks that up. I'm sure Goomba's not far behind in finding that glitch stick, as he's clearing out his dark basement at the moment.
Yeah, the King of Samaria went from being a nice little utility item at this time last year to maybe the most important item in the game in terms of how much it opens up routing in several dungeons.
As Marty finds a full heart container in the top left, Goomba does his hammer jump. Going to find that King of Samaria and heart container momentarily as Zelga does a nice bomb jump to get the big chest in the Tower of Hera. Just finds a piece of paper inside of it. As Illus is heading into Pod. It seems as though Illus did not do the boots checks, which were our mirror is at. Again, doing Pod here is not a bad play. You just essentially eliminate having to come back over on this side once you do find the flute.
Yeah, it's hard to fault Illus for not leaving this area and going to do boots checks right away, just because you just never want to come back to this area if you don't have to. We know unfortunately that you do want him to do some of those boots checks in this seed because they do kind of open up the routing for us.
As Zelga takes down Moldorm, the second most heavy RNG fight in a randomizer, gets rewarded with a green pendant and a few dollars in his pocket. It looks as though there was nothing else in Tower of Hera. He's going to make his way over to East Death Mountain and eventually to Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, it'll be great information for Doc Marty later that you just save Tower of Hera for right before GT. Nothing in there that you need, unless that green pendant turns out to be something. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Zelga check that green pendant, not right away, but before the flow of the race gets too far away from getting back to that area.
Yeah, I'm sure Zelga's going to want that King of Samaria pretty soon. That's a good bait to go ahead and push you toward that Palace of Darkness. As you're making your sprint over there, you can just drop off the green pendant once you're done with Pod, or as you're going to Pod with that mirror.
Yeah, having the mirror makes that green pendant turn in a lot quicker. And once again, something lining up really well for the spoilers here in terms of what they've done and what information they have. They can kind of just loop in a check for free, essentially.
As we're seeing Dr. Marty enter into the boss arena for a Halmasaur fight. 17 smacks with that hammer. It will reveal a soft spot that you could shoot 8 arrows in. 4 spins, 8 swipes with that Master Sword will take him down. I would imagine we're going to be seeing probably swipes, maybe bow, maybe a combination of both.
Yeah, I'm not sure how familiar Doc Marty is with the NMG fight for Helmasaurus, and that's basically where we're at with the equipment we have here. But arrows are a very nice backup, not too much slower. Nicely done, especially at 2 hearts left. So a nice pickup for Dark Marty there. Gets the blue pendant, gets another heart, and we'll then get the information to head out to possibly Death Mountain if Zelg finds something, or this may be the pushover to Ice Palace now that you have that Canis Maria as well.
Yeah, we did find a cave in the Paradox Cave. It's called Paradox Cave because it's in the middle and the bottom and the top. We don't know how it works. As we get a peek into Super Bunny from Zelga. Second Helmasaur goes down on Goomba side. Illus is not far behind, just 3 rooms behind that. As Dr. Marty's going to be looking at that dig spot, going to be... Oh, nope. Elects to go ahead and head into town.
Yeah, I think Doc Marty's going to do these mirror checks out of Village Outcasts. Also, is there something in the library?
There might be. Oh,
there is another
upgrade.
sword.
That's Tempered Sword for Doc Marty. That's going to make lots of boss fights significantly easier. We were talking about it earlier. Fighter Sword to Master Sword, nice upgrade. Master Sword to Tempered Sword, even better.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the last location side, Goomba's about to get this mirror, and that will open the seat up for them. They're a little tick behind here again. Zelda is going to try and hover this hookshot cave and get these other 3 items that aren't in logic. Gives it one try and is that's enough. I've seen enough.
Makes perfect sense to me. Give it one good try. You've got enough gear. You've got the cape. You've got enough hearts. Go ahead and check Spike Cave as our 3rd Helmasaur goes down. Marty's going to be checking this bumper cave since they did find cape. Going to loop in a graveyard ledge check and go ahead and maybe even do something a little bit more as we find flippers on Bumper Cave. Marty's going to have to be going up the mountain if he wants to get those flippers with the cape. The big thing is, though, is out of logic.
It is out of logic, but what that does is it's going to open up checking Ice and Swamp together. We don't have the hookshot yet, so can't beat Swamp, but I think that Doc Marty's definitely going to want to have those slippers before doing those water checks south, doing Ice Palace and Swamp together. Makes a lot more sense than doing one and then the other.
So we get a peek inside Graveyard Ledge. It's a book. Well, that is in logic. I would imagine Doc Marty's going to be heading over to go ahead and do Desert as Zelga's going to head over to get the flippers and start doing all of the water checks.
It looks like Doc Marty's going to head up to Death Mountain first and get that cape, and gets to check Ether Tablet while he's up there.
Yeah, and since you can kind of loop in Hera with that mirror checks, since you don't have hookshot unless he decides to hover on over the bridge, you can go ahead and knock out another dungeon.
I'd be surprised since Zelga knows that Hera only has a green pendant as a reward. Maybe he does. Maybe you just want to have the green pendant and never have to come back up there. But I would not be surprised either way if Doc Marty does or doesn't do Hera on this trip.
People were asking if Turtle Rock medallion what it was. I did not take a glance. We have 2 medallions. I'm assuming we have the 2 that we need anyway. It's kind of how I operate in Rando. Oh, I have 2 medallions. I don't need the 3rd one. I'm good.
I've never been burned by that. Not once.
Ever.
Not ever.
Never.
But our restreamer today, Oro, did look back at the video, and Bombos is our Turtle Rock medallion, which we have. So one of our 2 medallion dungeons we have information on. We have boots. So there's only one more piece of information that is missing in terms of what we need to complete this seed.
As it looked like Goomba went inside of Skullwood to go get that blue cane. And as Illus went back to go get the Cane of Samaria from the Dark Maze, and Illus is not far behind and looking into King's Tomb to get that mirror. As Goomba passes up Graveyard Ledge, where that book is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zelga got check K45, didn't get anything out of it. Is gonna turn in this blacksmith and go do purple chest for the spoilers. We know that isn't gonna be anything for him, but a check they're getting out of the way. On Lake Hylia Island, behind those flippers logically is the flute. So we have ourselves kind of a mess. Our flute is flipper locked. Our flippers are locked by the cape on Death Mountain, which means it's all lamp locked.
Yeah, and kind of looking at the layout of the seed, the only place lamp could be with all the checks that we've made is somewhere in Desert Palace or on a tablet somewhere.
Yeah, it would have to be on exactly Bombo's tablet, because Ether tablet is also lamp locked.
Yep. And look at K45 from Goomba. Just a little piece of love.
Yep. Doc Marty making the play into ice. Without the hook shot, I can. This totally makes sense. Like I would want to be able to do ice and swamp at the same time, but since you can't do swamp yet, there's no reason to push it. Doc's gonna go hit the switch before heading downstairs. That means he's probably not super comfortable with some of the harder bomb jumps in this dungeon.
You've got the Cane of Samaria. You just need to icebreaker on through.
Yeah, if you want to route it out quickly, there's a couple bomb jumps you can do in the freezer room that make it a little bit faster. But if you're not confident in those, you end up kind of getting stuck.
But this puts you at the priority side of at least 3 checks early on. So
yeah, there's our big key for Doc Marty. So that will let him get through that, and that'll let him get that big chest pretty quickly.
As we get a flute activation, everyone put your salutes in the chat for the magical, majestical, flying space duck, as there's a hook shot in Ice Palace in the atrium before the vanilla big key chest. That's huge. Yeah, it's a huge piece of information for the spoilers, as now you can just tell Zelga, hey, just do ice and then you can do swamp, and that whole south swath of the Dark World is all doable in one quick loop. As Zelga looks like he's going to be heading over to Catfish and turn in Zora and do the Fountain Fairy as well with those flippers in hand. Nice little density check here for the spoilers on the right-hand side. As Goomba enters into Ice Palace, not far behind Dr. Marty's going to find that hook shot and relay to Illus, hey, there's a hook shot here. Yeah, they still don't know where the flippers are at. That kind of strangely, that reduces where those flippers can be at to removing some of the Dark Death Mountain checks, which may make... I mean, Illus will be over there and I'll get that cape soon, but we'll see how long it takes him to put that 2 and 2 together, that they have something on Bumper Ledge. As Doc Marty handles his Freezer room with the Bombos, we're going to get a Moldorm fight here from Illus, Penguinator room, and a Zora's Domain check from Zelga. Just an Arrow of Destiny on the right-hand side on the Zora ledge. As Goomba having a little bit of difficulty getting through that wall, but not too bad. As long as you don't move that block too far up or down, you can just kind of reset and continue on going to the other side of that wall. And our Scamfish has a stick of butter for zelgadissan. Our 4th sword has been found, so our runners are going to be very well equipped for the rest of the seed. I would imagine Illus and Goomba, if they did the library check, are going to be nice and happy with Tempered Sword, and if they can orphan off Zora somewhere, they're going to go ahead and do it. As Goomba finds that hook shot, Dr. Marty takes care of Cold Stare, gets their second pendant. And so it looks like Catfish and Zora's Domain was not too much in the way of density. Zelga probably going to look at that pyramid real quick. Only reason to go ahead and flip on over through all of this.
I think he's actually going to head over to Lake Hylia. He's going to take this warp down to what Cross Keys runners would call the shopping mall.
Yeah.
And then head over here and check out this island. We'll see the flute and get a ton of information about this seed.
Yep. I'm going to go, oh, lamp's going to be in front of this. What's in front of this? Desert and a tablet. And you go, great!
Yeah, especially as Zelga just eliminated a lot of the checks that were not lamp locked or flipper locked or anything. Yeah, we're just running out of locations where this lamp can be at. Not that these runners need the lamp, but knowing where it can be can kind of eliminate locations you need to worry about.
So we are going to get a hobo check. Goomba did not do this before entering Ice Palace, so this is a new check for us. I always kind of forget that he lives underneath this bridge. He stays to himself mostly, and he just gives you a little piece of love. As Zelga goes ahead and saves and quits, I would imagine he's going to be heading into Ice Palace to get that hook shot. That's a priority item right now. Oh, no, decides to go do something else. I wonder what that could be. Oh, it's going to turn into flutes.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the flute and then go...
Probably Mire Desert?
Not without a fire source. It's probably ice.
There's a high probability that your fire source is in desert, though, with lamp. It's kind of knocking out all these chats here, or these checks here.
Zelda also doesn't have the King of Samaria yet, so that's definitely not a Mire Desert play.
Yeah, probably gonna go get that hook shot, maybe do some cleanup before that or after that, and leave Mire area to Doc Marty with his flute.
Yeah, I would guess it's, oh no, I guess he is going to take a look here at the ledge. And the fire rod is up there.
That is in logic. We do have the book. The book is in logic. We have that mirror with boots.
Yep.
So.
Yep, this fire rod is in logic. Still without this cane, though, Zelga's not going to be able to beat Mire. We do get a peek at the medallion here. But I think he did it so quickly that I didn't see it.
As we get a look into Hookshot Cave, and the ice rod is in the second to last check of Hookshot Cave. You can leave that ice rod until you're ready to clear Turtle Rock. I would imagine that's going to be the last thing that the spoilers are going to be doing.
Yeah, because at this point, if that should be everything for the spoilers. They have knowledge of everything they need for all their dungeons. They are in no mode between the two of them.
Yeah, and Illus and Goomba not too far behind. The big key is going to be when do they go do the Hookshot Cave and when do they go check Mire and Desert together. As we get a pyramid look from Goomba, Goomba finds just a piece of heart. As Zelga's going to just be in full go mode here. Just looking for that big key.
Then we go back to about 15 minutes ago when Illus went to the desert area, checked out Agnes Cave, and didn't check the ledge.
Cape is in Paradox Cave, the top of Paradox, on the right-hand side. Top right.
And that one check, that one skip deciding I don't have the speed to get over, I didn't have the boots at this point, I'm not going to go check Desert Ledge, is going to hurt Last Locationer severely in this race.
And Goomba's going to find his book here. That's going to give him logical access to that fire rod. He doesn't know it yet, but it's going to be there momentarily. As Illus is going to finish out Ice Palace here. Zelga's gonna kill some land molas with that butter sword fire rod. It's gonna die quick as Goomba looks like he's setting up a Kern jump. You throw a bomb here, it explodes you into the screen transition and it gives you fake flippers. As Doc Marty with that hookshot flips hammer is going to go into Swamp Palace. Absolutely no reason to do anything else. Marty, where are you going? Get the flute first, that's right. Flute's on Hylian Island. Might as well loop that in first and then pop back over to the portal after activating the flute. Very rarely that you have actual hard progression locked on Hylian Island, and today's seed, we've got that. Hylian Island likes being Ice Rod, it likes being a medallion. He's getting flute first.
Yeah, I think I would have just done Swamp first and then gotten the flute and save and quit from there. Doesn't make a ton of sense to do it this way, but we're where we're at. Goomba getting a ton of stuff done without these actual flippers. He did a fake flipper to go get to Hylia Island, one of the harder ones to do. And then the current jump over to get over to the east side of the east side of the world, and now he's going to get a fire rod. And those flippers are still a mystery to last locationers.
Perhaps those slippers will be their namesake. We'll see. Overledge is one of those kind of out of the way checks that, unless you loop it in with Graveyard Ledge and the bonk checks, you can leave there for a while. As Illus is going to go into Paradox Cave here, going to find the cape, which we know unlocks the flippers for last locationers. Doc, Marty, and Zelga already have their flippers.
Yeah, at this point on the spoiler side, they're just going to clear out dungeons. Green Mail 10 hearts is plenty for zelgadissan. He's also got a fairy in a bottle. Shouldn't have any problems for the rest of this race.
And a blue potion too.
And a blue potion, yeah, just plenty of safeties. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they went out of their way to get anything else in this seed past what they have.
As Goomba continue doing desert checks, this is going to put the last locationers even further behind. He does not need to do any of these checks. We know where the flippers are at. They're on Bumper Cave. But that's a long ways away from the last locationers getting to it. Zelga is going to be doing a hammer jump here to get that cane of Samaria. Using the pixel lineup perfectly. Decides, I'm going to check this big chest real quick. Gets this map.
I mean, you only get to tell your partner so much information in these seeds, and it's been like 20-25 minutes. He's like, oh, it's in Dark Maze somewhere. And he's like, all right, I'll just check everything. It's fine.
Could also be muscle memory.
Yeah, that too.
It happens if you're just right in front of that check. Yeah, you might as well just open it up. Peace of mind. As Illus is going to find that ice rod for last locations.
Is he? Does Illus hover? He doesn't have the hook shot yet.
I would guess Illus is going to hover. Oh, he does have the hook shot too. I
guess he does.
Palace.
All right, never mind. He does have the hook shot. Doesn't have to hover.
Alright, so they're just going to find the ice rod here in the second to last chest. Say, hey, Goomba, ice rod's here. You have fire rod. Oh, and you have red cane. Come do Turtle Rock. I bet you the flippers are in Turtle Rock. And, it's not going to be in Turtle Rock, unfortunately. As Illus is going to go ahead and check Spike Cave. Just one bad item location, and what is ostensibly a fetch quest. You don't need Cape to clear the seed unless something is on Bumper Cave or you don't have the blue cane for Spike Cave here. Just so happens that's where we're locked at.
Yeah, the one good thing, if this is like a half magic or silvers, this could be good for last locationers, but not a lot else that's going to help them out this seed.
Yeah, we've already seen Spike Cave from the spoilers on the right-hand side. It's nothing.
Yeah.
As we get Doc Marty going through our first Misery Mire. Zelga is going through the Dark Turtle room right now. He does have that fire rod. Should he get lost or feel a little bit scared, he can chuck a flame shot to turn on the torch. The easiest way to do this room is if you enter in with your sword drawn out, just hold to the left until you stop moving and shoot a fire rod shot that lights that torch there. Zelga being a little bit more aggressive, nothing wrong with that. You probably feel ahead currently, so hey. As we get we get a small key here in the spike room. We're going to be checking the bridge here. If the big key here in Misery Mire is on any of these, we get ourselves what is affectionately called the God Mire.
Yeah, Illus is going to... I'm not sure what Illus is doing around here. I would assume he's already at the shovel. He's already gotten both items out of Skull Woods. I'm guessing he's going to make his way to Bumper Cave here shortly and find those flippers there, and that will be...
setting up a fake flipper.
Instead of just getting the real flippers.
Yeah, he's not checking Bumper.
Wow. That is incredibly unfortunate.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Goomba to check that bumper ledge to see if it's flippers. He's going to go do Skullwoods. He just has to go to the back. He's only got Mothula to kill. Does he have all of his pendants? No, he does not. So he can't even pull Ped at the back of here. That's going to be an extra trip. Should last locationers think the flippers are there.
Yeah,
which is impossible.
It's impossible to ice. Yeah, so the flippers aren't there. So I feel very confident that Goomba's just going to save and quit after beating Mothula, and that bumper ledge is still just going to be in the ether for him, not ether, just in the ether.
Because if you don't do it after Skullwoods, you're going to be leaving it there for a while.
Meanwhile, Dr. Marty did find the big key in Mire, heading downstairs into the worst dark room in the game.
Gets it done really easily. Those fire spitters are not fun. They are jerks. I did have the benefit of having a fire shield to go ahead and protect himself from any direct fire hits.
Yeah, and then also has a cape here to get through the spike trap very quickly. And using that Cane of Samaria block to navigate up to the switch. Nicely done by Dr. Marty.
Our wonderful tracker, Duodeca, says he argues Aga Tower dark rooms are more evil. And I would say the left side ones that are dangerous have torches. That's the difference. The right side Aga dark rooms are easy. You just go up, right, down left, and you're good.
Yeah, I would say that in the without ever practicing either of them, the Mire ones are harder, but you do Mire ones more often than you would ever do the Aga ones.
Oh yeah, Aga. If you're stuck doing Aga, especially if it's not all dungeons, you have the lamp.
Yeah, for sure. You're never choosing to do Dark Aga in a non-all dungeon seed ever, really.
Yeah, and at that point, if you're going, I have one check left, I'm 2 items short of Dark World access, and I don't have the lamp. You know where the lamp is, you go get the lamp and just make your life significantly easier.
Exactly. Chat asking if Goomba or Illus have seen the flippers on Bumper Ledge. No, they've danced around it a lot. Both runners set up a fake flipper to get the flute, which is on Hylia Island, and kind of just danced around the bumper location without actually looking at it.
Yeah, that bumper location is very hard to forget or loop in, especially since you did do Light World bonk checks and you've already gone and committed to Graveyard Ledge. I'm shocked that they did not loop in a bumper check with Graveyard. That is almost automatic for me when I'm doing routing. If I'm doing Graveyard, I'm checking to see what's on bumper, just in case. It's just a quick
I mean,
screen transition, and you're good.
with boots, I'll do it after doing Front of Skull Woods before heading into Village Outcasts. It just does not take long at all.
Yeah. It's very possible that maybe Goomba or Illus did see what's on bumper and mistake it for something else, but at this point, they both have cape, and neither of them have gone to do it. I would imagine they haven't checked it at all.
Yeah, it's so far off the radar for Goomba and Illus at this point. It's going to be a while before they find those flippers.
And I'm going to bet that our lamp is going to be here in probably Swamp Palace. It's possible it could be in the front of Turtle Rock as well, since we did have access to that.
Can't be in either because the Death Mountain was lamp locked entirely.
Yes. So I would imagine our lamp is...
it could be in the pyramid.
Pendant.
It could be green pendant, or it could be right here in the pyramid.
Yep. But Doc Marty and Zelga are probably going to say, nope, don't need the lamp with...
And there it is, right there in the pyramid.
Yep. So we found all of our necessary items for logic clears.
Get those commentator curses in chat, clearly. So to reset things, the spoilers are just in cleanup mode. They are in go mode. They have tempered or butter, depending on which side of the screen you're on. Plenty of health, plenty of safeties. They're just on their way to run. The last locationers, on the other hand, still have those flippers defined, and they are... They are lost in the wind to those guys, unfortunately.
Yeah, Gooma's going to be going up to Turtle Rock going, flippers can be there. Oh boy, flippers can be there. And Illus is going to be full clearing Mire, hoping to find those flippers, and not going to be there, as Doc Marty's going to be looking for... It looks like he's going to be checking for silvers with that last sword on Zora. That's a hard check to go get that upgraded sword for. So he's just going to look for, you know, some silvery shots to make his pig fight just that a little bit easier.
Yeah, any chests that are just directly in your path are going to get picked up, like the waterfall chest in Swamp here and the 2 sunken chests, but not going to go too far out of his way to go find those silvers. I think you runners of this caliber are pretty confident in the tempered sword silverless fight.
We'll see what Illus does if they just go mode Mire. At this point, I'm sure they're feeling frustrated as to where those slippers are at. It might be one of those he could forget that Flute was on the island, because Hylian Island is one of those places that usually don't grab.
Right, yeah, like, we know the flippers can't be here. I think they know in the back of their head flippers can't be here, but they might be panicking at this point and just, like you said, just forget that information, make a bad call, and dig too far in here.
Yeah, Illus is more than a high enough runner that shouldn't be a problem. You just never know. Seeds have been making people very strange this week.
Indeed. And chat pointing out as well that now that we know where that lamp is at, the Turtle Rock is now in logic without those flippers. So might go through and full clear Turtle Rock looking for those flippers and then get into desperation mode.
Yeah, at this point, Marty and Zelga have such an advantage on dungeon clears, and they're just go-moding everything. Every single check, every single extra room just adds time that Goomba and Illus just can't afford to have.
Yeah, Goomba and Illus are definitely two of the top execution players in our league, but they are giving themselves way too much of a deficit here in time.
Yeah, that's the great equalizer is routing. If you happen to skip a check and it's one that you need, you can just dig yourself a hole that you don't even know. Yeah,
the old saying is better lucky than good, but it's best to be lucky and good. And
it's best to be lucky and thorough. Is what I always tell people coming into randomizer. As Doc Marty's going to be finishing up his pendant dungeons and his crystal dungeons here momentarily. He's got Thieves Town to go ahead and get as a blue crystal. Tower of Hera is going to be his very last one after Turtle Rock. Skullwoods is next.
That was a 3-key front of Turtle Rock. I didn't see if there was a big key as well, but this might be one of those super fast Turtle Rocks. Not for the last location, they're gonna have to full clear the whole thing. But for the spoilers, that might line up even more of that.
Now we'll see if Goomba decides to. I'm sure he's gonna be checking this chest just in case anyway.
Oh yeah, they have to look through this whole thing because flippers could be here.
As we get a peek into the vanilla big key chest, it's a small key.
So the old 4-key front Turtle Rock.
Yeah, unfortunately, that means that Zelga and Dr. Marty are going to be blitzing through Turtle Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some times where there's a small key in lava chest and a small key in big chest, and then you kind of mess yourselves up if you do the super fast the NMG route through Turtle Rock and then end up without a key at the end. But 3 keys in front, you're never gonna have to worry about that. This is gonna be one of the fastest Turtle Rocks you will see.
Yep, and we're gonna get a look at Mimic Cave as well, as Goomba's probably gonna check the big chest first with the last locationers in 1 item go mode. Nope, you're gonna do Mimic Cave first. Okay, that works too. It's an absolute check for them anyway, regardless of what order they decided to do this in, so. As those mimics go down, inside Mimic Cave we find just some more love.
Just a little bit more love. Zelga with a nice set of minor dark rooms here. Kind of low on life, but once again, plenty of safeties. Shouldn't have any issues.
So I would imagine Illus is going to be going, okay, where haven't we checked? And he's going to go, well, we haven't checked Bumper, we haven't checked Zora.
They had to have checked Zora. Goomba has Gold Sword.
Oh, Gold Sword. Okay, yeah, perfect.
I think Bumper Ledge is the only thing they haven't checked.
Yeah, I would imagine Illus is going to go, okay, I'm going to finish. Yep, go into Bumper probably. And they're going to go, great.
It might be the workout just right here. Won't have to do Laser Bridge. But they will not be happy to see flippers here.
I'm expecting frustration swipes or spins. Yep.
Take out all your anger on the murder dactyls.
As Illus is going to be the first one on the last locationer side in true go mode by getting those flippers in Bumper Cave.
And Goomba got the message just in time. Doesn't have to do Laser Bridge. They can go straight to the boss.
As Zelga's heading into Skullwoods here to complete a Mothula fight, he'll have just Trinex and Turtle Rock to clear, as Doc Marty is getting to the back of Skullwoods currently. Gonna have to make a mountain climb, clear Turtle Rock, and do Tower of Hera. I would imagine that's going to be a Hera pot right to Moldorm for him, so that's literally no time to go ahead and do that. Yeah,
for sure. It's going to be do Turtle Rock cleared out, mirror in front of GT, do Hera in less than a minute, and then start your climb. Zelga will be up there first, and they should have enough time spread out between each other so they can diversify the routes enough to cover most of GT fairly quickly.
Yeah, I would imagine first one in goes left, second one in goes right. You could send someone first in right, but right usually is the quicker way, and it's a little bit easier to loop in the back there from going left. And since left is a little bit longer, you want to kind of do that first. As Illus here is going to be doing their Mothula fight. Probably feeling very frustrated they left the flippers there on Bumper Cave. As Goomba's going to go in and get his cape here in Paradox, get off the mountain, and go do the rest of his dungeons.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling, is that Goomba had to like, this cape, who needs a cape? I've already got a blue cane, why do I need a cape? No, God, I need a cape.
As Goomba's going to be opening all these chests, we knew it was top right.
And once again, you just have that impression, oh, it's in Paradox Cave, it's fine. You just end up having to check a whole bunch of stuff if you don't remember exactly where it's at. This isn't quite a spoiler race where you have everything laid out in front of you. That is coming up in a couple weeks. I'm very excited for spoiler races.
Yeah, whenever I do co-ops like these, I always ask my partner, tell me exactly what chest it is. I will remember when you open it. Please. Just makes my life a little bit easier. I can skip 4 chests in a room and just grab what I need.
Doc Marty about to enter Turtle Rock here. Zelga is a screen and a half behind, a couple screens behind. But Doc Marty does have a Tower of Hera to do as well. So they should be entering GT pretty close to one another.
Yeah, I would say Marty's going to be entering probably a screen and a half behind. Maybe it might be exactly the same time.
Frankly, that's great. You send... At that point, you might just send one person Hope, then Left, and the other person Dark Magician, then Right.
At that point, you might as well just go full right if you're doing Hope Room. Just split up and tell your left side, yeah, you don't have to do Ice Most unless the key's there. As Goomba gets his flippers, he is in go mode here at 106.3 approximately. Just unfortunate that the spoilers found their flippers, about what, 25 minutes ago?
Yeah, it was at about the 42 minute mark when they were in go mode for everything, and I think flippers were last. So, yeah, it's been a while for the spoiler should just be doing dungeon clears, whereas last locationers have been hunting the entire world for those flippers.
As Doc Marty gets his keys in the front of Turtle Rock, going to be hitting this switch here, picking up the chest in the Chain Chomp room, and realizing, oh, we get to go straight to Trinex. That's awesome.
Yeah, these 3 key fronts are not very common in Turtle Rock. When you get one, you're just thrilled because you just don't have to think, you just go.
As Illus and Goomba enter into Swamp Palace, they're going to be able to go mode this. Just go right to the back, kill our Argus popcorn friend, and they're going to be left with doing... Illus is going to be doing Turtle Rock, and I think Goomba's going to... He's got a lot left. He's got Mire. He's got...
I think he's got Cannon Smart. I don't know if he got Cannon dipped out of pod or actually completed pod, but I think that he still has Mire and Hera and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it looks like there's maybe tracker eating inputs or something like that. But I do know Goomba has to do Hera. He's done with Turtle Rock. I do know he has to do Mire because he hasn't gone over there. He was looking for flips in Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah, Goomba did do Turtle Rock. He was doing Turtle Rock when Illus found the flippers, which let him skip Laser Bridge. So it definitely has a Tower Hera climb. I don't think he has pod still. So only a couple dungeons left for Goomba. Not a ton behind, but still behind enough to make it a sketchy one for the last locationers here.
Yeah. At best, you're going to be entering GT when your opponents are either at the top or just getting into AGA 1. And at that point, you've got 10 minutes plus worth of work unless that key's super early, plus the AGA 1 tower. That's a lot of time to be made up.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Illus does a nice Fire Rod strat here on Argus. Gets a piece of heart and another crystal. As Doc Marty heads into our second of Trinex fights here. 3 Ice Rod shots on the Firehead. freeze him again. Switch to that fire rod. Oop.
Missed a shot here. Kind of dangerous without that extra fire bar, but tempered should make it not too much of a punishment. I know I have never once in my life ran out of magic in Trinex room. That's just never happened.
Nope, never had the mirror back all the way to the front to get a refill. Never. Never, ever. Doesn't happen. We're all pros here. As
might still be a bit early for a big key guessing game, as I think Doc Marty is going to head into Hera first before heading to GT. So, but plenty of time to get your guesses in then.
Yep, as Doc Marty is the first one to have all 7 crystals, so we're going to be using either Zelga's or Doc Marty's, whomever enters into GT first. We're going to be counting.
Yeah,
this is going to be supremely close, as Zelga's just got 2 rooms to get over to Trinex, and Marty's got a Hera climb and a Moldorm to kill.
Yep, Illus on his way to Turrock right now, and then Goomba's got a mire to clean up, and then up for Hera.
Weird routing idea. Could you go into GT first to find the big key, then mirror out and go do Hera? Just a little bit of something to think about. You can give. I
think with this much of a split between him and Zelda, that's what he's going to do. He's going to look. Or no, he's going to do Hera first. I think that's a.
I think it's an interesting idea. If your partner is like 5 minutes behind you, you can go, okay, I'm going to go find the GT big key for you, so that way you can just go, and I'll do Hera once I find the big key.
Yeah, this close together, I don't think there's a ton of value on that. Doc Marty having a bit of problem with the Hera pot here. I don't know at what point you're like, I don't know this well enough, I give up. Gets it on the second try, though, so no worries there.
Yeah, if I'm doing the bomb setup here, I don't like... If I'm doing boots, I go ahead and do spin speed and just push myself into it. If I don't have boots, I use the peg setup with the bomb. That one seems to be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, I still need to learn the spin speed Hera pot. I am old and bad at learning new techniques, so I'm still a bit behind on everyone in terms of the latest skills. At least executing them. I can talk about them, I just can't do them. It's perfect for commentary.
As Zelga is our first person into GT, this is going to be really close, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be approximately a room ahead of his partner, Doc Marty. So we're going to be using Zelga's chest count here. Count along at home, everybody. As he goes right into Hope Room, chests 1 and 2 inside. And Doc Marty heads left. Check number 1. Check number 2. Zelga's going to have to go left, as there's going to be a small key on the torch here. Doc Marty's going to go head right. Zelga's going to head full left here.
Well, Doc Marty needs a key, so Doc Marty should have grabbed the key off the torch.
He did.
Oh, he did? Okay, good.
Yep.
And then, all right. Works out. Forget you, tile room.
Yep. Check number 4. Number 5. 5 is the correct answer. Congratulations, Gamachu, for winning our GT Big Key guessing game. Your prize, the fabled, infamous, no value internet points. Congratulations. Our consolation prize today is the fact that you lost a guessing game for Link to the Past randomizer.
Gamachu amazing at randomizer and full of internet points. The rich do get richer.
As Doc Marty finds a small key in that right-hand side, both of our runners for the spoilers are not going to have to deal with the mini Helmosaur up the GT climb, as they have 2 keys in their pocket.
Yeah, time for the execution fest of the upstairs of GT. We're heading to the gauntlet here just in a moment for Zelga. And shouldn't be any problems, but these rooms can get away from you if you don't do them well.
As Goomba is making his way up the mountains, going to have to go do Tower of Hera, which means he has to enter the Dark World and put a portal down. And unfortunately, that means he's going to have to go right first, because there's no way to get Dark World access and GT access from the left. As Illus heads on through this dark maze of Turtle Rock, heading right to Trinex, and is going to be entering GT as well.
Yeah, Buttersword making quick work of Land Molus. Having just regular Magic Bar and only Fire Rod, you can get yourself into a bit of a trouble if you lean too hard on the Fire Rod in that Land Molus fight, but Zelga doing a great job managing his magic and have enough for these last couple of rooms.
Yeah, you do get a small magic pot in the room after Land Molus. There are small magics in the torch room as well, which would be just enough to use that lamp if they had it. He's got Fire Rod, but as you said, plenty of magic to go around.
Yeah, no one's got time to grab these pots in the torch room. No one wants to be sitting around fishing in these two pots for a small magic.
Bottom right.
Oh, I know.
Sometimes, though, you just never know. Good to have that information. Alright, you get to skip these Helmosaurs. No need to get that key that's in one of them. I don't know how he got a key inside of him. What do you hypothesize, James?
A balanced breakfast.
I like it. Full of iron.
Absolutely. Get your magic refill. Don't need to worry about the chest. Silvers are there. Too bad. And with Gold Sword, Moldworm 2 goes down in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's been a really, really fast climb from Zelga.
Yeah, if you're Zelga and Doc Marty, you're going, this seed was pretty nice and linear for us. Oh, Doc Marty screwing up his torch room, the second one. Those balls like to eat fire rod shots, and...
this is an actual problem because I don't think he does have a blue potion and crack that, and a green. Ooh, found a green potion along the way somewhere too, so gonna be bailed out there. Probably don't want to use that blue potion. One heart might just want to use that blue potion there anyways and not die, but
yeah, just gotta be careful with these spikes here. Gotta be very careful with the spikes here. Alright. Now that room is tricky with one heart because you could eat two spikes. You could blow yourself up with the bomb and dodging the spikes.
I'm really surprised Doc Marty didn't grab the heart out of that pre-Moldorm room. The next room after this, the Helmosaur room, can get away from you very quickly, and anything hitting him will kill him. Meanwhile, zelgadissan just shredding Aghanim 2 is going to make his way up Aghanim's tower now for the last of our dungeons.
As Goomba and Illus make their way through GT, Illus finds the big key in our Dark Magicians. Unfortunately, they're at the bottom of the tower. Doc Marty and Zelga are done with the tower at this point, outside of an Aga 2 fight. That's approximately 7 minutes worth of work at the worst.
Doc Marty taking him up here, and chat pointing out, I do believe he does have a fairy, though. Yeah, he does have a fairy. So down to just a blue potion for the rest of this. He does have 13 hearts. It's should be plenty for the Ganon fight.
And he's going to get a free refill at the end of Aga 1. Does have to be careful with this wizard and his magical balls.
Yeah, not getting the most favorable patterns here. This should be a good one for a double at least, if not a triple. Only gets 2 out of it.
And Zelga, without that lamp, having to use that fire rod to get through Dark Aga.
Yeah, it's a good thing that he'll get a full refill at the end of this tower. So he won't have to go into the Ganon fight short on magic and without a lamp to get Torch Glitch.
Yep, as I said, this isn't too bad. There are torches in the left-hand rooms, which are the ones with all the pitfalls and mazes. All these other rooms, you know where you need to go. And once you get through floor 4, You have yourself all the light you could want.
Yep. Spoiler is not playing the seed like they feel like they're too far ahead. I think that's probably for the best. You know, your opponents are two of the best runners in the game, and there wasn't anything that was too far out of the way in this seed. I think that we know that it took the last location forever to find those flippers, but that kind of was because they outthought themselves a bit. Getting the flute with fake flippers for both of them. So you have to expect that they're close.
As we enter our first AGA 1 fight, it's time to play our second guessing game of the day. How many blue balls do you think AGA 1 is going to chuck at our racers? It is a set number, as long as our runners do not die on this fight. Get your guesses into chat now.
Please, no one die in this fight.
First shot is always a full magic ball. Second, third, and fourth of a cycle can be those blue balls as we get number 1. Here's our fourth of a cycle. 2 blue balls as we get a lightning strike here from AGA 1. First one of this cycle is going to be a full magic ball, and then we're back to 50-50 blue balls, magic balls.
Yep, and as soon as we get to 3 blue balls, it's guaranteed to be another full cycle of Aghanim fight. So we'll get another lightning phase and another guaranteed shot. And there's 4 there, so we're gonna have a long one.
Now the RNG in AGA 1, 2, and Ganon are all the same for our runners. So they're expecting the very same fights ahead of them. There's number 5.
It's 5 blue balls today.
And our winner is me. Thank you very much, me. I don't get internet points though.
Yeah, you don't even get internet points, so you just get the smug satisfaction of a job randomly done.
I can guess balls correctly.
All right, we got a Ganon fight now on zelgadissan's side. Gold sword, no flamp, and no silvers. The only thing that could be a problem is missing this torch glitch without fire. Without the lamp, but Zelga still has a blue pot, so we'll have plenty of magic to get through it, even if he does miss the torch glitch.
I always like asking in these all dungeons co-ops, hey, what's Aga gonna do for me? What's the pig gonna do for me? How many teleports am I expecting? As we see Goomba and Illus finish up their AGA 2 fight. Illus just, 3 rooms ahead of Goomba, and a cutscene for the AGA 1 climb.
Nice cheeky first shot on Ganon there by Zelga, getting that time. That's a rough timing to get that first shot right after the text box.
As Goomba elects to go ahead and take that heart of damage for a quicker entrance into AGA 1. As the spoilers are doing everything. Ooh, Zelga freezing the pig. This time his spin a little bit. Got the watch. There we go. Nice setup for a triple here. And there we go. Just gonna have to light the torch. Nice.
Good one framer there. If you wait too long before hitting that torch, Ganon is only vulnerable for a very brief portion of time. Normally it's only 1 framer you can hit him. The spins will take it, but when you hit Ganon at the wrong time there, he starts his teleport motion much sooner than you would expect. Zelgadissan getting through that Ganon fight is our first runner to clear out. Doc Marty is in this Ganon fight right now in phase number 2. Now into phase 3, getting some teleports. Really well done there. And with a blue potion, shouldn't have any issues either.
Yeah, GG's in the chat for zelgadissan. who finishes with an official racetime.gg, crossing over the finish line at 1 hour, 23 minutes, 45 seconds in what was a very, very well clean seed. As we get our hint that silver arrows were up in his tower, why he would put the thing that makes him the most vulnerable inside of his own house, I'll never know.
It's just like Superman hiding his kryptonite at a place where if you can get here, you can probably grab it, and I'm probably dead. But yeah, good luck getting into the Fortress of Solitude.
But sometimes he complains about his minions being incompetent. He should know better.
Yeah, Marty getting the torch glitch. Everything's going to be fine here. Just a couple more spins, and Marty will be done with the Ganon fight here, and we will be able to give you that official GG for the spoilers. And there it is. Just a little bridge to cross over, and the spoilers are going to get even back up in this set. And leave this week with 3 points on the week, getting into week 2.
And GG's in the chat for Doc Marty as he finishes with an official racetime.gg clock in at 1 hour, 25 minutes, 22 seconds. As you said, the spoilers split this week's set of races and gain themselves 3 crucial points in what is a very, very competitive and hard invitational league.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are pleased to be joined right now by the spoilers, zelgadissan, in our chat right now. Zelga, congratulations on the victory.
Hey, thank you very much. GG's.
Looked to be one of these co-op races where the timing of where you found a lot of items really worked out for you in the early game, where you could just loop in an extra check and get something that you knew you needed. Whereas that sort of didn't work out for the last locationers here.
Yeah, we were briefly talking with them in the waiting room. It seems like I think the big thing for us in particular was the ice rod timing. Is just that the way that we found out Marty had to climb the mountain to get the cape put him in perfect spot after having the hook shot to just check hookshot cave, and then that ice rod was our go mode. So it was just really perfect. And then honestly, like the mushroom to the bow to the boots, that was the only other thing we were worried about between the hook shot leading to the ice rod, and then maybe if someone on their team had gone immediately to Eastern and got the boots and then the mirror before ever touching Dark World. That was like our 2 main big concerns, I think.
Yeah, those checks lined up really well for you. And then the other big thing was last locationers kind of outthinking themselves a bit and getting that flute by fake flippering to Hilly Island and leaving the flippers lost almost forever.
Yeah, their flippers were their last item on Bumper Cave. It ended up Goomba full clearing Turtle Rock just about until Illus found those flippers. It was a real tough go until then, and then, they made up a whole bunch of time because, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And making this a pretty close and competitive race, all said and done.
Yeah, I say these guys are easily, well, I don't want to say easily because our division is insane, but I think it's fair to say that they're probably the favorite of the division to come out of the top, so I am really happy we were able to split week 1 here.
Yeah, they made it to the this conference semifinals last season. Definitely good to get some points off them early here. Stock Marty has joined us as well. Illus just finishing up on the stream. Goomba will be short behind. He's in phase 4, so we'll have them in here in just a moment, as well as Illus is about to cross the bridge here. We'll get his official time in just a moment.
And Illus's official time is at 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 11 seconds. Not too bad for where they had to get those slippers at and for how long they were up there. So GG's to Illus and Goomba, who's right behind that time as well, for making up some lost time very quickly.
Yeah, as Goomba has finally hit the last shot on the pig, we'll get his official time in here in just a moment as he crosses the bridge. Let's get some GG's in chat for all 4 of our runners today. Goomba and Illus finishing things up for us, and that is it for our race.
GG's in chat for Goomba. finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, 55 seconds. Really strong, solid time from Goomba and Illus, just unfortunately a little behind from what our spoilers did today.
And joining us in our chat right now is Illus. Illus, GG on the race. Rough location there for those flippers.
Yeah, not checking bumper cave first was a conscious decision because it somehow takes quite a bit of time for a check that's usually nothing. And our big mistake was like not checking it later, sometime later when we both picked up the food via water walk. But yeah, we assumed we might find the flippers before we find the lamp, and in the end there was the lamp and pyramid fairy, so it was a bit unfortunate. But we also made mistakes.
Hey, you guys said that was a conscious decision to go ahead and go and skip Bumper Cave. Can you kind of go through the thought process of going through? You did Skullwoods early on, which makes sense to go ahead and pass that up. But once you guys found that mirror in King's Tomb and did Graveyard Ledge, what made you say, we're still going to put that off and hope that flippers are somewhere else?
Well, I never did Graveyard Ledge for once. But yeah, I don't know. Goomba can explain.
Well, honestly, it was just a blatant mistake on my part. It slipped my mind.
Happens.
That's really all there is to it.
That happens to everyone. So, okay, because we were kind of curious about that because we saw you go do Graveyard Ledge and we're like, wait a second, why isn't he just going up and just checking Bumper just for sanity's sake? And that ended up being the last item you guys needed. And that put you guys at a little bit of a deficit because Goomba, you had to go and do extra checks in a quick Turtle Rock.
I mean, so at that point, right, we were flippers for go mode. We were kind of working under the assumption that the flute on the Kylie Island was the logical access to Death Mountain.
Oh.
And the cape was in Paradox Cave. So that's why I didn't check it at that point. I should have checked it when I went to Waterwalk to grab my flute, but I just kind of forgot.
Yeah,
I could have checked it too.
Yeah, we saw both you guys go just past that location and set up the water walk without taking a step up, and that ended up being the downfall today.
Yeah,
that happens. I'm still confident in our decision making in general, and yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys still put up, even with that flippers hunt, you guys put up a really solid time at 128-ish in between there for both of you guys. You guys weren't that far behind Doc Marty.
Yeah. I don't know. I think aside from the flippers, the rest of the seed went really well for us. But those flippers definitely hurt us a lot.
Yeah, I feel like our mode kind of came out of nowhere. Like, we didn't even realize the flute was on the island until I think we had already seen the flippers. And then we didn't know about the fire rod on Desert Ledge. I think we got the flute, the fire rod, and the ice rod, like, all within about a minute of each other between the two of us.
Yeah, I could see that.
And to be fair, even with you guys' last location, those flippers, that's an insane time. Consider the amount of things we managed to skip because we had that knowledge pretty early, so that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't quite last location, but it was close.
It was pretty close.
I was like halfway through Turtle Rock when I saw the flippers, and I was gonna go over and do Ether Tablet and Hera Basement after that, but aside from that, I think we did everything.
Alright, well, you guys are in a pretty stacked division in the Invitational League. Is there any weeks that you're looking forward to racing a team or doing a specific setting in the future of this season?
I'm looking forward to AD Keys week in week 6 because that's my favorite game mode. Looking forward to...
That.
Well, okay, calm down. I wouldn't say always. But I like to think I'm pretty good at it. I'm also looking forward to Mystery Week because I get to play against Drac and we can have a nice clown show.
Yeah.
How about you guys from the spoilers? Is there anything that you're kind of looking forward to getting through at the end of this first week?
I think the big thing on my docket is also Mystery Week, namely because we're up against I Like Big Boots, when we played them in Mystery Week last season as well, and they beat us. And they beat us in the playoffs, so we have a bit of a revenge to take. And then, of course, I'm looking forward to Cross Keys Week because, oh wait.
What the heck?
I would have been surprised if you said anything else, Zelga.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Zelga. Like week 5 is going to be like I'm practicing mysteries a lot, so we can get our revenge in those guys. They're another really tough team in the group, so we want to split the week would be good there. But if we can get an outright win, that'd be incredible.
All right, well, thank you very much for you guys for joining us on the interview. GG's to the spoilers, Zelga and Doc Marty on the win. Good luck going forward for you, Goomba and Illus, and the last locationers for the rest of this season.
Thank you. We're known to have some atrocious luck, so we're gonna need that.
It's in the team name, right?
Yep.
All right, well, coming up here on the ALTTPR League channel, just in about, very close here, in about 20 minutes, we have a matchup between Two Pearl, Two Furious, and Major Mistakes. That's OSC28 and Cattlebot versus Trinex and Alex Hacks. That's going to be broadcasted for you guys here, like I said, in about 20 minutes. We have a lot more going across the Speed Gaming network of channels, Speed Gaming 2 and 3 later on this evening, along with the ALTTPR League 2 channel. Anything else you wish to say on the behalf of this broadcast, James?
No, I'm just excited. You got if you like rando racing, you've got a weekend full of it. There's 10 more races at least in the Invitational League and 20 or so in the Open League. So you've got all the racing you could want. I'll hoping to hop on commentary for another race either today or tomorrow, and can't wait to call more of this action. The co-op modes are my favorite in the league. It's just something so different from any other league racing or ladder racing or anything like that, where you get to have that communication, have that teamwork really show through.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me today, James FNX on or is that FNX or however you want to do it? I'm terrible with these. Excuse me.
It's different for everyone. I also want to give a shout out to our trackers today. Who did a great job keeping up with 4 streams at once. We got Duodeca and 2C Plus on that for you. So thanks to them.
Remember, you can follow your runners by hitting the !R command in the Twitch chat. That will give you links to their Twitch channels, along with your commentating teams, mine and James's links, along with our trackers and our restream crew, which is Oro, who has been working like a mad lad, getting all of these races out to you guys. And with that is a thank you very much for joining us today on the ALTTPR League channel for this race between the spoilers and last locationers. Everyone in chat, you have yourself a good rest of your weekend.